Hey church, Sarah Davis here, excited to be with you for Attribute 2 of our Steps Towards Jesus plan. And today, our Attribute 2 is personal faith and growing enthusiastically. You see, we have a problem. And the problem is that you can't lead anyone into what you are not already. You reproduce who you are, not what you want to be. And so how often do we get upset or frustrated or hurt by someone else's lack of growth? We've become so skilled at looking at other people's lack rather than focusing on our personal journey towards Jesus. And our desire for you as a church is that you become so on fire for Jesus that you want to bring people with you. And you have to remember that a relationship with Jesus is active. In the closing lines of our Church for the One vision statement, it says, "This is church, so healthy that the gospel is irresistible. We are not a cruise ship, but a battleship. We are the church." What that's saying is that we collectively are the church. And you and I, we are on a mission to gain territory that Satan stole. However, if we are a battleship, then we have to be enthusiastic about our personal growth in taking steps closer to Jesus. And this pursuit, it's a lifelong thing, and it needs to be driven by passion. A cruise ship, if you've ever been on one, they're amazing, but they allow you to be comfortable. They allow you to just stay super comfortable, and they serve you. But if you are a part of our battleship, you are on a mission. As I was kind of thinking through this, I went to God's word and I thought of Paul and the church of Corinth. And in 1 Corinthians 11:1, it says, "Imitate me just as I also imitate Christ." Imitate me is where Paul knew that he followed Jesus. And so he didn't hesitate to tell the church of Corinth, the believers that didn't know who Jesus was, to imitate his walk because Paul followed Jesus. The Corinthian Christians needed examples of what it looked like to follow Jesus, and Paul was leading by example. Paul, who was once Saul, who had a radical life transformation, went from place to place as a missionary to teach other people about Jesus. And when he landed in the city of Corinth, he landed there because there were a lot of problems. And one of the biggest problems that they had is that they said they believed in Jesus, but their actions did not follow their words. And the church of Corinth was just not living out what they said that they believed. And so Paul did what he told Timothy to do. And this is found in 1 Timothy 4:12. "Be an example to the believers in word, in conduct, in love, in spirit, in faith, and in purity." You see, Paul wasn't being followed because he was Paul. Paul was being followed because of the Jesus in Paul. He was not the worthy example. Paul, being the follower of Jesus, was the example. "Follow me as I follow Jesus" is how the end of that verse lends itself to. And so we are called to be like Paul. We are called to be the type of people that when they look at us, they see the Jesus that's in us and to be imitating the Jesus within us. And so here's some things to be considering, is that your faith development is your responsibility. In Mark 3, verse 13, it says, "Jesus went up on the mountainside and called to him those he wanted, and they came to him. He appointed 12, his 12 disciples, that they might be with him and that they might send them out to preach and have authority to drive out demons." And so Jesus took his faith really personally, and he took people with him. He always had people following him in God's word because of what he did and how he acted. And we need to be kingdom focused, which means we need to bring people with us as we follow Jesus. But how do we do that? So these are some things to consider. What creates passion within your faith? What stirs your affection for God? Are you ready? Do more of these things. What reduces your passion within your faith? What makes you feel further away from God? Crazy thought. Eliminate those things. And reflect. What is limiting you from taking steps closer to Jesus? Where are you lacking? What spiritual disciplines do you lack? Do you spend time in God's word? Do you serve alongside others? Do you pray only about yourself? When you have a passion to be more like Jesus, you can't help but want more of him and to be more like him. But if you want to lead others to Jesus, you need to bear the image of God in your personal life. But you have to remember, you are the plan. And being a part of the plan means that as you follow Jesus, you are bringing people with you, just the way Jesus did. Jesus modeled this perfectly in God's word. Everywhere he went, people followed, and he accepted that, and he wanted that. And so don't run closer to Jesus alone. You have people in your life that if you were so willing and so bold to invite them into a relationship with Jesus, they would follow you and they would partner with you in that endeavor. And so don't overcomplicate the plan. Make a plan that challenges you, but is still sustainable, and bring as many people with you as you personally seek after Jesus yourself. Remember, be like Paul. They don't need to imitate me. They need to imitate the Jesus that is in me. I hope that's an encouragement for you. And I have some questions for you that would be good to consider in discussion. And they are, 1, what is currently in your life that is a distraction from being with Jesus? 2, what needs to be added to your life in order for you to be more like Jesus? And 3, who are you inviting to take steps towards Jesus with you? And remember this, if you heard nothing else, you are the plan.